All right, everybody. Now that we've looked at some murals with positive messages by British artist LaQuina McIver, we're going to try it out ourselves. But instead of creating real murals on the campus of Zamorano at this moment, we're going to be using the iPads and an app called Assembly, which I think you've had experience with when you were in second grade as well. So it should be review, although not as quick of a review as Morphe, which we're using again this year. So I'm going to go ahead and you and your partner will click on the home button, click it again, and you're looking for the Assembly app, which is kind of like an abstract, kind of like sky and ground. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to open up like this. And then what you'll do is you're going to hit New Project, the first square right here. And then it gives you a blank piece of paper. But what we want to do is create this on a photograph. So I'm going to go up here in this upper left-hand corner. It's got 3 bars, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go to the word artboard right here. Once I click on that, it's going to give me 2 options, change the background or load photo. We want to load a photograph, and you have 4 walls to choose from above the auditorium, from the, I think this is the side of room 62 or 61. You've got over here the safety patrol wall, or this is on the first grade side too. So what you'll do is you're going to pick one of those. Let's say I want to use this one. And then I'm just going to, over here, I can hit a check mark. So I've got that. Now, before we experiment with words or your positive slogan, right, what I would like you to do is create an abstract image. It could have symmetry, it might not, but that's up to you. So in order to do that, you're just focusing on shapes and primarily geometric shapes. If I click on this, it says tiles. If I click on that, it gives me more to show. But this stuff over here, we don't want to use. If you're using this stuff, I'm just going to ask you to tap on it and delete it. The primary shapes that you want to work with are right in here. So they're geometric. You can get a lot of mileage out of them, all right? So you want to focus just on those shapes. So for example, if I click on one of those shapes, it immediately shows up in the photograph. I can make this a little smaller so that image looks a little bigger. This circle allows you to make that shape bigger. It allows you to rotate it in different directions. So if I wanted to put a red rectangle on there, and the thing that I'm going to ask you to do too is you don't want your shapes up here. You don't want your shapes down here. You only want it to go on the wall surface that you're working on. So let's say I do that. And if I want a second shape like that, what I can do is I'm going to hit this copy button, and it produces a second one, so I can fill the wall like that. If I want a piece to go in there, I can pick a different shape. So I can find it. I'm going to use a skinnier rectangle in order to lay that in there. All right, so I can kind of piece it together. Now, if I want to change colors, I can. Maybe I like that orange, I like that red, but I want to change this. So if I go into styles, it allows me to pick a new color. So I could go like all warm colors, I could go neon colors, whatever you want. So whenever I have a shape selected, if I tap on it, it's going to change that color. Oh, those kind of look nice together too. I'm going to go back to that. Oh, where is it? Right there. So I have kind of like a background, but I can keep going, right? Because that's pretty basic. So, you know, maybe I want to add some circles on top of it, and I can change colors too. Maybe I want to see kind of like a polka dot background, and I can change these. I'm going to change the color real quick so it doesn't blend in there. Oh, that's not going to work. Maybe I go dark. All right. If I want to copy it and I like it, I can do that. Maybe make it a little bigger. Copy it again. Make it a little smaller. So you get the idea. All right. So I've got stuff like that. If I want to, I'm going to copy it again. I'm going to drop it inside of another shape. And if I hit these 3 circles right here while I'm still in the colors, it allows me to pick new colors as well. So if I want something brighter, boom, I can choose one of those in there, right? So if I want to, I can't see that. There we go. So you can see how I'm like adding. I don't like how dark that is. So if you ever want to change a color, you can simply go ahead and do that too. And that's okay. I'm going to reverse it out. If you need to kind of move something off and then put it back in, you can. All right, so you can see how I'm kind of building it up. All right, so the design is up to you. So this does not have symmetry. If you wanted to create one that does have symmetry, that's totally cool. And I'll give you an example of that in a minute as well. Right, so I just wanted to add a couple more circles in there. Oh, that's the circle that I changed. I want to copy that. Copy it. Yeah, I like that. So let's say I have something like that. Ideally, I would add more detail to it. But then I can go in here, once you have your background figured out, and you want to think about what your text is going to be, right? So if I do this, you can see it says new text object. So then I could type in what I want my slogan to be. You are awesome. And then I can hit done. Now it gives me that text. If I want to change its color, I can go into styles here. So I can change it. Maybe I want it to go black, right? I can also change the font too. So if I go back into text, if I hit this one, it allows me to pick different lettering, all right? So you can see how if I select those, it's going to change, right? So depending on what you want, that's up to you, all right? And I could center the text. Over here, this allows me to space it so I could stretch it out, right? I can do that. If I wanted to repeat the text, the cool thing about that too is I could copy it, right? So I could create a wall full of that positive message too, right? So again, you are working with your teammate trying to come up with something awesome. Let's say I want to change the color of that text. I'm going to go in and change that to gray. I can make it lighter so it kind of fades out a little bit. So you can see how I went in there and I'm playing with the opacity. So it's entirely up to you. I can go into the text. If I go into styles, oh, I have a shape picked. If I go into stroke here, this allows me to create, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go fill. I'm going to change it to white. Oh, maybe that. Ooh, there we go. And black. Nope, that's not what I want. Ah! You can always hit trash or undo. I'm going to go fill and hit it with that. That's what I want. Now I'm going to go stroke and black. And I could change the thickness of that too. So you can see that's not going to do anything. All right, you can see how I can kind of play with it. And then once you get something that you like, and you're satisfied with it, you're going to come over here. You're going to save it to the library. So it saves it to your projects, right? So it saves it right there now. But it also saves it to the iPad. So what I'll do is after you do this, you'll turn in your iPad with an ID card, and you will then put your name and room numbers on it as well as your image. And then I'm going to print it. Just like last year in 4th grade, I'll print 2 copies, one for you, one for your partner. Sound good? I know it's a lot, but I think everybody's going to rock this idea. So think positive. You are awesome. Go.